Now, yesterday's video I was talking about how doing the same thing is not necessarily something I really want to do. And also, after coming home after doing a bit of, grocery shopping, I'm sorry, I just effing died. Apparently, Wendy's wanted to choke me with its fat freaking buns, but apparently, that's how it is for me. Just die with a whole bunch of freaking, I guess, vaginal discharge in my mouth. Holy shit, that was crazy. I was gonna say I was watching Char5 talk about how, after his security breach video, talking about how he's probably gonna wrap up the Everything Wrong with stuff pretty much at some point. And it made me think about, again, what we talked about yesterday, about doing the same thing over and over again. And it's like, yeah, I can definitely understand that. Anyway, the point is though, I also said yesterday that we're gonna do a slight bit of introductions of new characters related to Kakatsu. I still want to introduce them nonetheless, because there are some good ideas of characters I have for them, and I kind of want to share some of the details with you. It's 6 characters in total, I believe. So without any further ado, before we get into it, because I had to beat around the bush a little bit. Number 1. This piece of ass. I'm not gonna hold ya. I want to clap this. I don't even know much about the movie Ria like that. I don't know much about this character, but honestly, shaking that ass like that, I need to F that 100%. Might make a model of that just to go ahead and just try to, clap the cheeks of that, because why the hell not? Number 2, Junior also went out their way to make this render of Konako getting her cheeks clapped by me with the big booty. I can't show all of it, obviously, but you get the damn point. You can probably see it on, Twitter. So when it comes down to it, I just want to shout out Junior real quick, because that's amazing. They ain't had to do that, but I appreciate it all the same. Now, the first character we want to talk about, and I showed this kind of hinted at this character at some point in time in the past, which was Totsuki. Now, Totsuki is a robot lady who is potentially a maid for Jay and, the crew. And when it comes down to it, it's going to be doing some robotic bullshit assery things, honestly. Basically what you expect a crazy anime robot maid character to do. And I don't have a solid idea of where I want to chuck her and all that type of stuff. I did create it and I'm like, damn, I really want to use it, which is why I've been holding off on it, at least story wise, and just other things in general, because I didn't introduce them yet. So that's kind of also like a thing when it comes down to it, but I really want to use this character a lot. And the reason why I even made this character is because of June from My Dystopian Robot Girlfriend. So that's just kind of how it is, because June is about fine as hell in that damn game, base model of her. So I'm like, okay, well, what if I just took the same shit, but made it way different and make her cuter? And that's essentially what I decided to do. So hopefully I'll be able to use her soon. Like, I haven't really had a solid opportunity or an idea as to where I would be able to use her, but we'll see how that kind of goes. And if we don't use her in the story, most likely you'll see her around the channel every now and again, honestly. Now, obviously, if you watch the story, you know who Nyx is. You've seen the design of Nyx, and I'm pretty sure you have your ideas of what, she kind of is to you. But we haven't really shown off too much of the light representation of, the character that is opposite of darkness, which I'm gonna call this one Luminous. Now, it's very close to Lumine's name, right? It's a bit different how you're supposed to, say the word, but when it comes down to it, it's basically kind of close to the same thing as the word luminescent. So that's why I kind of just say, I'm gonna just call her Luminous, because why not, and spell it different maybe. So that's how we're gonna try to discuss that nonsense. But yeah, basically this is gonna be the character of the light side, and you'll get to that when you get to that. It's not really too much different from Nyx, essentially just on the opposite side of the spectrum. And that's kind of what I've been saving up for a minute. Don't know when we'll see this character, probably not gonna be anytime soon, but when it comes down to it though, yeah, it's pretty much par for the course, just the same as Nyx, except white as rain, honestly. So that just is what it is on that. So there's not really too much to say about that. Now, this next character is a bit important. And I don't mean just one arc important, I mean the entire story important. So important that she's gonna be relevant at the very end of that story whenever the world we get to that time frame. But when it comes down to it, I'm not gonna give you the full name of this character because I just want to, see how we kind of range with it just in this. But we'll just call her Ulta. And if you can take two and two together, Ulta and Ultimate kind of together kind of tells you where the hell this character, is in the grand spectrum of things. Pretty much a crazy character in its own right that I can't necessarily divulge anything about, because if I did, that spoils literally everything in the damn story. But I will tell you that yes, there is a reason why she has the damn tattoos and symbols that Shion does. Yes, there is a reason why she's blue and red all over. Yes, there is plenty of different things that kind of is attached to this character, but I still, again, will not necessarily say. Ulta is just really going to be a character that you're probably either going to really like or really hate, depending on how you view their stance of doing things in the story. But again, we'll get to that point. I really just been wanting to share this version or this character for a while because I really like the design of this character, and I really thought it was a fun thing to put down. I mean, her hair makes no damn sense, but at the very same time, I still very much enjoy it, and I do think that a lot of people would probably sit down and enjoy this character a little bit too, honestly. So at the current moment in time, again, really can't say too much about that, but hopefully you'll enjoy Ulta whenever you get to really see what she really is and what she's really about. Now for the next set of characters, or at least the last three, is actually forming a whole group together, and essentially I just finished creating them like a few days ago, and I have very big plans for them in the very near future once this whole beach arc is kind of done. Let's break down each girl one by one. The green hair girl is Shu Hao. Yes, I gave her a Chinese name. Why? Because I wanted to mix shit up. But basically Shu Hao is going to be a relevant villain character, and really all three of these characters will be villain characters. And when it comes down to it, she's more on the technological side of things, basically like Sage, but except not Sage, and honestly just like, hella green. And the reason why I went out my way to make more characters, especially these three, is going to come down to the fact that, I can't necessarily take Konako and Lamine and all these other characters that obviously belongs to different people. I can't really just use them for my own benefit, especially if I decide to just make something like official, like an actual IP out of it. So at the end of things, I just really wanted to go out my way to have more characters that can fit those molds when that time comes. And I'm like, alright, I'll just add them to the story just to see what we can do so people can get used to them, right? And as far as Shu goes, she's basically going to be your introvert, computer ass girl who basically just be on a lot of different technological stuff as well, right? Again, really can't say too much, but yeah, you can definitely see that she's going to be, a part of some nonsense in the future. All this is doing just expanding the harem even bigger, honestly. But that's besides the point. The blonde one is called Boyoko Pisk. Yes, that is her name, and yes, it does actually have an actual meaning to it. But when it comes down to it though, she is basically what you would get if you took a super serious character and you took like a really strict demeanor and you just put that shit together and basically was just like, yeah, we're not necessarily effing around. Essentially, you can think of it as Arlecchino with absolutely no emotions when it comes down to it outside of getting the shit done that she needs to get done. That's essentially what she is. If she was a businesswoman, she would put actual fear into your heart because she's intimidating the absolute shit out of you. That's what basically Boyoko is. So yeah, obviously she also uses a rapier, which is her main weapon, and she's definitely not gonna F around, or at least I don't think she is, as far as the story of what I'm thinking will happen. So that's just basically how that's gonna go. And lastly, we have Fu Li, which is going to be personally my favorite girl out of the three that I made, because she's pretty much Megusaki. At least that's my initial thinking of what she's gonna be. She's gonna be basically just in your face about certain things, and gonna be bragging about certain stuff, and thinking that she's absolutely the shit and dominating your ass in every which way possible. And that's just how it is, honestly, right? A big titty, non-lolly Megusaki. That's essentially what I think she's going to end up becoming. And obviously, when it comes down to it, she just looks really damn sexy. Like, why would you deny yourself this? To be honest, her head kind of reminded me of Alice a little bit for some weird ass reason. That was totally not the intention either, but it just happened to look like that. So, she is a magic user when it comes down to it. She's gonna have like a whole casting bunches of spells that she's gonna use in the near future. So again, look out for that, which gives Yukari maybe a run for her damn money at some point in time. And there's just definitely going to be a lot of things happening. Mainly, I would say we're more of Fu Li versus anybody else, but you never really know. Again, I could say all this stuff and it means absolutely nothing when the episodes actually come out, because I change my mind way too damn much. But that's just how it is for me though. But yeah, Fu Li of all the girls is basically my favorite one, but I love all of them all the same when it comes down to it. You just gotta see how we're gonna really nail all this stuff when it comes down to it. And honestly, you will probably see Fu Li more quicker than you will see everybody else and interact with the story faster than basically everybody else as well. So again, expect some crazy things that kind of happen in the near future. But that right there is essentially all the female cast of characters that I wanted to throw at your way that's basically going to be new. Hopefully I didn't say too much, and hopefully it's still secretive as to all these girls and what they potentially could be. The only person I would say maybe not is Tatsuki, but that's about it. But we'll see how that kind of goes. But hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification out. Also follow me on the socials and like to donate to the channel. Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.